So because I'm kind of always looking for something new to watch now that I don't really have a lot of stuff I'm currently watching. Finished X-Men 97. We don't have to get into that. Did everyone finish that or no?
I still haven't gotten past the first episode.
Okay. So we don't have to really talk about that other than I think it's a really good show. Unless anyone else wants to talk deeper about it, that we can't spoil anything for Dom, but
really good show. Really good.
I mean, I know some spoilers, so.
So really enjoyed that, but within the last 24 hours, I don't know. I talked to Mike about it earlier. I don't know if either of you have seen or heard of the new John Mulaney show, Everybody's in LA.
I saw a preview with the guy that just died. What's his name?
Call Weathers.
O.J.
No, the guy that was in Scrubs. He was the
yeah, the one that played the lawyer. Or did somebody else die?
No, I was referencing the guy. Didn't he? I thought he died this past year.
Oh, you're talking about Richard Kind?
Yeah, Richard Kind. There
Richard
it is.
Kind passed away?
I don't think he did. That's why I'm confused.
Is that the thing? So maybe hold on now, because now I have to look into it, because I'm pretty sure there's
passed away. That means he passed away within like the last 5 days.
The one that played like the hypochondriac on Scrubs,
yes,
right?
That's what I was looking for. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he died.
Okay, bye, Todd.
R.I.P. Todd.
There's, I mean, it's not that it's not possible, but like
Everybody's
in LA show was live and it just ended a few days ago, so that means he would be passed away within the last couple days.
Oh, his power went out.
Oh,
cool.
It's back on. He is still alive. This was a thing recently that I like. Now I'm trying to remember what it was. It must have been some podcast that I was listening to, and they had like referenced like, yeah, rest in peace, Richard Kind, and then somebody said like, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Like I just talked to him on the phone, and I think that in my head I just like forgot the second portion of that.
Let me see if I can on the fly get Mike back in on the camera, because I'm gonna end up fixing it, and then Todd's gonna join, and it's not gonna matter.
Things up again.
So I'm gonna duplicate some settings real quick on the fly. So if you're a video viewer later on YouTube, or you're turning in live right now and all the cameras are fucked up, it's because Todd's power just went out and pulled him out of the call. So it'll be a little janky on the video feed for a little bit until Todd comes back, because I know if I start fixing all the cameras separately, Todd's gonna come in and mess it up again. So
again, this is one of those things where if we were a real polished show, we would have you'd have a default scene. You could just press a button.
Yeah.
Boop,
yeah.
We'd switch. But we ain't that.
When the
moon hits your eye.
I will say when the moon hits your eye. When the YouTube videos when the Twitch stream starts to pick up more concurrence while we're actually doing it, I'll probably nail down some more things on the visual side. I will say though, our YouTube viewership has started to turn up a lot more on the podcast specifically, so maybe it's due for some visual overhauls, but that's a little inside baseball that's on the low on the totem pole for things that I need to get done for Pest Controller. But back to Everybody's in LA. It's really good. It's only like 6 episodes. I will say I've been enjoying some of the live stuff that Netflix has been messing around with. I mean, granted, it's one thing when it's just like, hey, we're going to record this thing live, like a comedy special or something, but we're going to also premiere it live. That's fine. Where this had a little bit of an audience element that was baked into it. So I think it just like kind of added a little bit more. I mean, and I will say this
just a talk show.
Like,
I'm like literally just looking through his Instagram. It's like
the easiest way to describe it.
Looks like a talk show.
The easiest way to describe it is that it's a talk show, but there's a lot more kind of going on. And
like what? I just wanted to say, like, there's skits, and they
Well,
have
yeah,
musical guests.
Yes, it is a talk show.
Oh,
It
so
follows
it's like
that
a
format.
talk show.
Yes, but it also has like the live element with the viewers is
Oh,
they have
like a talk show.
no, they have people call in. Like there's a telephone there. So when it was live on Netflix, people who are watching at home are calling into the show.
Okay.
Which
I mean,
I don't know if any talk show does that.
No, talk shows are pre-taped.
yeah, most of them are. Yeah.
So yeah, it does follow a talk show format. It has skits, but it also
public access has call-ins.
Yeah, it is.
Those are all talk shows.
It is like a talk show, and it follows a lot of that format.
It's
like
Mulaney. It has skits.
Yeah, but a lot of the skits are not done. It's not like Conan skits where like someone's coming out and doing a bit. It's like all stuff they already did. But usually also might factor in the guests that happen to be on the live thing too. But it's stuff they already filmed and they're like cutting away to it. So basically instead of commercial breaks, it's like they're taking breaks with stuff they made to fill that like sort of probably so people can go to the bathroom, whatever, swap out guests. Because it's also not like they have one or two guests come on and like they do an hour on that. It's like he has like 8 people come out and they all join eventually on the couch for most of them. And it's like, I don't know, it's like chaotic energy. And again, it's not like someone's coming on to promote, because like the first episode, I think.
I mean, I saw Richard Kind.
So Richard Kind is like
Kind
is
is
like
Luke,
the Andy Richter.
Okay, I saw Lunel. I saw
Lunel's on an episode, yeah.
I mean,
so like the Lunel.
I saw a bunch of people that like aren't currently like doing anything.
So like the Lunel episode,
I saw Nikki Glazer.
Eventually, everyone that comes out for that one, I think, is Pete Davidson, Bill Hader. I guess this is like a kind of spoiler if you don't want to know like who's gonna pop out as a guest. So sorry, but it's like Pete Davidson, Bill Hader, Lunel, David Letterman. Richard Kind is always there because he's like Andy Richter, and there's also like a robot element. They have a robot that's on every episode. I won't go deeper into that. You can just find out for yourself. And then there's also usually...
Is it voiced by Nick Kroll?
No.
Because Nick Kroll is definitely there.
No, it's like a real robot. One of the bump out sketches that's pre-recorded is a fucking... Hey, hello
guy.
Oh, hello, yeah. It's called like Oh Hell Los Angeles or something like that, or Oh Hell A or something. I don't fucking know. But then they sometimes have someone in the guest that's playing a bit. So like another comedian will be in the audience that's playing a bit, not as themselves. That also chimes in for some like it's and there's also a live audience, so it's like it's chaotic in all the right ways. But yes,
like a talk show.
For the most part, it follows like the structure.
It's like
of a talk
SNL.
show. It's not like SNL. Nah, it's more like a talk show. They do have a musical guest every time. So theme
but they do the thing that they do
songs-
like in the monologue where like the host would be like, hey, oh, let's talk to the audience, and then like fucking Kenan Thompson in a wig saying, hey, this is my first time here. Well, why don't you sing a song? I don't know.
So, like, the premise of the show supposedly is that there must have been some comedy festival or something, because that's what, in the first episode, that's what Mulaney says. He says, like, oh, Netflix had a bunch of comedians out here for some comedy festival, so I decided to take advantage of that and do this quick, like, week-long show, because all these people are in LA.
I saw Netflix post a thing about a comedian's brunch.
Maybe that.
I don't know if that was the thing
maybe
that he was
maybe that's what it was. But the other thing too is like
it was a vast, like a wide berth of like comedians.
Yeah,
like people that I've seen in like groups of comedians that I'm like aware that are like friendly with each other.
Yeah,
and they were like all like separated by group.
The other thing too, which I guess also would like. Again, I'm not saying it's not a talk show. It is absolutely structured to be a talk show. Is that like in the mix of all the comedians that are part of each episode, there's usually one like, because again, the structure of the show is not like these people are coming on to talk about the things that movies or whatever things they've been making or putting out or doing or specials. It's like the first episode is about coyotes in Los Angeles, and that's the framework for the episode. And between all the comedians he has come on and do stuff around that, he has someone on that episode that like works for some wildlife thing that's like trying to like protect coyotes in LA or something. So like there's one person that is not an entertainer and is in that mix for the whole entirety of the episode. Yes, like a talk show dumb.
Like an animal trainer or
yes, that's what Mike said earlier. But it's
I said Jack Hanna earlier. I was like, oh, it's like Jack Hanna shows up.
Recently it's been the Irwin kids. So
yeah, good for them.
No, it's not. It's nothing like that. It's more like there's an episode about palm trees and why those are like problematic for what they actually are and what they are for California. And like there was a person there that was like I don't know. It like
palm tree expert
specifically is like someone that is trying to get California to install like more regular trees that actually produce oxygen and shade and less palm trees because they're not real trees. They don't produce oxygen. They're also not native to California. Like all these things, whatever. I forget what she did for a job, but she like works with the government to whatever. Anyways, it's enjoyable. I liked it. Clearly, I watched all 6 episodes within the last 24 hours, so it was a good time. I like Mulaney, and I like a lot of those comedians. So if you want like a nice, easy, breezy watch, I don't know why we just talked about that for 10 minutes, but anyways, I think Todd's computer is not coming back on anytime soon. We got a great show for you tonight. I don't want to mess. It just looks so crappy, but if I mess with that, no Todd's going to come. Maybe I should mess with it so Todd does come back. We got a great show for you tonight. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me tonight is the anime senpai himself. Sometimes we call him Martini Mike. Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm just there.
Okay. Todd may come back. May join us tonight. Could be an option. He was here, and then his power went out. So there he is. So I'll switch these cameras.
Speak of the devil, and he will appear.
It's like he knew I was about to intro him. Also, I was literally. You're muted, Todd. I was literally about to skip over you as the intro, so you came back at the right time.
Perfect. I'm here.
The fucking Fortnite father himself, Mr. I don't pay my electric bill, so Comcast came for me. Mr. Todd Garrett. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
That last 10-minute interlude I spent trying to get the kids' TV back up and working. So it was a nightmare. Yeah, it was just a nightmare. Everything, the modem, everything's restarted. I'm like, great.
Fantastic. You hate to see it. And rounding us out tonight, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Dominic 40 Dom. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Is a podcast a talk show?
No.
I mean, it is literally a show that we are talking.
We don't have guests.
We do sometimes.
That's on us.
We don't have skits.
Sometimes we have.
We don't have
bits.
musical guests.
We have bits. I mean, the Super Soul Brothers play our intro and outro music, so technically we do have a musical guest.
No, that would be like a house band.
House bands. Yeah.
So one of us needs to start using an instrument.
That doesn't help the situation.
Why not?
No, we need musical guests. We need to pull in local artists and be like, hey, play a song.
You need to bust out the rock band drums and just get on them for a quick second in the background.
Yeah, people really want to hear pounding plastic. That's what they want to hear.
I can only imagine what the people above you when you lived in that old place were like, what the fuck is going on? It's like 1 o'clock in the morning and we're playing rock band and singing into the mic and drums.
I'll say this to protect myself. All of the people that throughout our time living in that apartment were not bad. Not all of them were bad, but some of them were fucking garbage. So I don't give a fuck if they had to listen to that because the stuff that we had to endure a million times worse. And I'll leave it at that.
Damn, shots fired.
We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about a few games that we played, including Animal Well, Little Kitty Big City, and Surmount, among other things. But before we get into that, this episode, of course, is, you know what? It's sponsored by Pass the Controller. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, you want to support the show, you should go over right now to wherever you're listening to the show. Leave us a quick 5-star review. It's super beneficial. It'll help us continue to grow the show, and we appreciate you if you take the time to do that. If you have bucks kicking around and you want to support us, you can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and become someone that wears our logo around. You can go to patreon.com/passthecontroller and become a patron. You can go to twitch.tv/passcontroller and subscribe to us over there. If you have Amazon Prime, you do get a free Amazon Prime sub every month. It doesn't roll over and it doesn't get automatically applied. So if you have Amazon Prime, make sure you're giving it to us or somebody out there. You know, somebody deserves that free money. Take some money from Jeff Bezos. He's got enough of it. But yeah, if you have those avenues to support us, we appreciate you. The last thing of that being, if you are an audio-only listener, which most of you are, as a reminder, we do record live every week at twitch.tv/passcontroller, but if you can't catch the live show, no worries. Search Pass the Controller Podcast on YouTube, and you can watch the video later or listen to it if you just want to, if that's where you listen to your podcast. But yeah, anyways, we appreciate you. Hope you can support us in those ways. They go a long way. Other quick housekeeping things. I am, wait, no. I don't know. I was a guest on a show, but it's a pre-recorded show, but it's not, I don't think it's coming out for another month, so I don't think I can say anything yet, but I'll plug that when the time is appropriate. I'm trying to think I feel like there's something else I needed to mention. I mean, I can kind of briefly tease that Mike and I will be at Summer Game Fest next month, so if you are... We'll be there in a very specific capacity. So if you are interested in linking up or showing us something or maybe making some content around that event, we'll be out there for a limited time. So, maybe that's, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, we'll be out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure. Anyways, let's just get right into it. But Mike, have you been playing or watching anything?
Not really. I did accidentally beat the Red Death and Vampire Survivor today. I forgot that was a possibility.
Is that an optional boss? Remind me.
Like after the 30-minute mark, the
thing that pops
I
up.
didn't know you could beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't it just continue to respawn?
I killed it and then the game ended.
Wait, really?
Oh, I don't know if I've ever done that then.
I
have to look.
I was trying to I'm just trying to go in there and evolve things. I'm trying to unlock stuff, so I ended up
did you
evolving.
Are you playing on a new platform? Is that why? Are you trying to redo stuff?
Yeah, I'm playing on Game Pass now. So before I was playing on my
okay.
phone. Now I'm playing on Game Pass to get achievements and stuff. So I was trying to evolve the the shield? I forget what it's called. There's like a shield thing, and then there's the time thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's one that freezes enemies.
The time one is a freeze enemies. The shield one, I'd have to. What is the ability that it does?
It like puts up a shield for you. I think it's called. It begins with the letter L. I forget what it's actually called.
I mean, I played a lot of Vampire. I think I might have 100% in Vampire, or very close to. Let me double check. The shield is not ringing a bell. The clock, I know. I forget what the clock is called. You might call it like Chrono something. The clock.
Like Time Lancelet or something.
Yes, Time Lancelet. Yes, Clock Lancelet. Yeah. That's what it is. Looking for shield.
It looks like it kind of looks like I don't know, a plant of some sort.
Oh, the plant. The laurel.
Yeah.
Shields from damage while active.
Yep. So I was trying to evolve both of those at the same time, I was just trying to unlock things.
Yeah. What's your when you have everything unlocked? What's your go-to loadout?
I like having something that's always around me. So either the Bible. Either the Bible.
I think the Bible's the best.
King Bible is fucking huge.
Yeah, either the Bible or the garlic. And I like having some sort of projectile.
Daggers are so good.
I like
once
daggers.
You get the daggers upgraded, it's so good.
Garlic,
I like doing daggers.
Garlic was a good early weapon for me, but once I got further into the game, I don't think I ever went back to garlic.
I stayed away from it too. Same.
Because
I still pick it up.
Even when you evolve it, I feel like it's still not. I think there's just better combinations you can use. But King Bible is something I always do. There's something that like duplicates your projectiles too. I always try to like make sure I have that if I have something like King Bible or Todd is gone again. I'm pretty sure he's frozen in the most ridiculous way. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So yes, I do like having the duplicator power up.
It's ridiculous. I can't stop looking at. I feel
at least the pictures. At least you're still on the camera.
I know.
Yeah.
I do feel like I should give Todd a courtesy, like turn it off for him so it's not stuck that way because it's ridiculous, but it's also
Simpson,
incredibly
Mr.
funny.
Simpson, no.
I keep cutting you
I
off,
like having I do like having the duplicator. So occasionally I will, like you can unlock that guy that you can buy items from at the beginning.
Yeah.
So if I end up buying one of those things, as far as I know, those things don't evolve. So like if I buy
those special ones like the fireworks and like the barrel,
like the minecart thing and the bone.
The bone. I do like bone a lot.
Yeah. So like if I have if I go in and like just buy a couple of those just to put out my loadout, I can use what I would have been saving to like as an upgrade thing, you know what I mean? Like a power up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll get duplicator and not worry about having to get lightning bolt.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That sort of thing. But anyway.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think like pentagram fully loaded is usually one of my
Pentagram is good.
Yeah.
I just don't like dealing with trying to evolve it.
Yeah,
because like
I forget
too often
you have to get something negative to evolve it, right? Like something that's
you get the crown to evolve it, but it's just like a pain to like deal with it going off, and I'm trying to like collect gems, and I haven't evolved it to a point where it doesn't wipe everything off the map.
Yeah,
like I think I've lost treasure chests that way.
Yeah, I have too, but I think it's just too powerful. I think it's just like too much of a, especially late game. I will say upgraded daggers is great too, especially with duplicator, because I like that it's always
where
something
you're facing.
Fronting. Yeah, like front facing. Like that's huge.
Oh, that's like movement. Another thing. Like I like having whip sometimes just because I know it's going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll get axe.
Axe is
I'll get axe. Axe is okay, but like I'll get axe just so I have an excuse to get candelabra. I think one of them that like it makes the range bigger or like the area bigger of your attacks.
Yes.
It evolves with that. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna use that power up, I might as well get axe too. That sort of deal. But anyway, I was trying to evolve the shield thing and the clock thing. And to evolve those, you need to get the gold rings and then the 2 arrow things, like left and right. I forget what they're called. Like malignant left, malignant right, or something like that. Yeah. And I was doing this on the library one.
Yeah, I would farm a lot of my like unlocking stuff on the one that's just like a hallway that goes back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah, I would use that level a lot to like make sure I had my stuff unlocked before I went further.
Yeah. So anyway, I managed to evolve them all. Actually, I don't even think I evolved the clock. I think for some reason that treasure chest never dropped for me. But I evolved the shield thing, and the Red Death comes out, and he kept getting frozen. And like it kept multiplying, but he kept getting frozen because of the clock thing. And the shields, when you evolve it, it like really reduces damage you take.
Mm-hmm.
So for like 6-7 minutes, I'm just running around. I'm like, he's not killing me, and I'm not killing him. And then eventually he died. And then the white, I don't know what the white death is called, but like one that like does not get affected by anything. He just shows up, kills you right away.
So then maybe I have killed the Red Death before then, because there was.
When you kill him, you unlock him as a playable character.
I'll have to look. Maybe I do have him then, because I haven't played Vampire Survivors in a while, but I played a lot, and I was deep in that whole unlocking pretty much everything I could. I don't know if I ever finished all of the like downloadable stuff, the downloadable content, but
the DLC. So this morning I was playing on my phone, because that's where I initially played it, and I booted it up, and I found that fucking Among Us level, which was confusing.
Yeah, I don't know if I've played. That might be the newest DLC. I don't think I've played that one.
Yeah.
But I fucking love that game. That game.
Oh boy.
Fantastic. What happened?
I apologize in advance to everyone.
Oh.
Oh, we got a 2-man show. That's fine. We can let me
Just a regular.
I'm gonna pull you.
I'm
Man
here, but I'm
show.
just gonna have to. I'm gonna have to just no camera because shit's all fucked up on my end.
That's fine. Let me just quickly adjust the cameras then, so that way, can I duplicate this one too? So
I don't want to have to jump back in and everything and keep on fucking everything up.
yeah, that's fine. We'll just have a fucking
Do pictures. Do pictures for them both.
Oh, Dom's back.
I'm back.
Oh no, this is better. That's even better. Todd, that's how you froze, Todd. It was
Wait,
remarkable.
move your head down. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm happy that's what we just did that for us. Not
Right.
I thought you were also going no camera, and I was like, oh no. Okay.
Right.
Let me, Todd, what do you want to be tonight on that? What do you want to be?
That would surprise me.
I have that picture if you want to put that picture.
Do you want me to use that picture, Todd?
Fine by me.
All right, yeah, shoot it my way.
All right, hold on.
Anyways, if you're an audio listener, which most of you are,
R.I.P.
yeah, Todd.
Just use that picture as a thumbnail for when you upload to YouTube.
I mean, I could. I don't know if Todd wants that to be the picture, but I could do that. Anyways, yeah, Vampire Survivors is great, Mike. I'm happy you're digging into that. I feel like, is there something about Vampire Survivors specifically that you like, or do you think you would like other the term people use to describe games like Vampire Survivors?
Reverse bullet hell? Is it a reverse bullet hell?
They might call it that. The term that I most frequently hear is garlic lakes.
Wait, really?
Yes,
That's great.
Yeah, they call them garlic. I've heard it called garlic lake quite often. I don't know if I've ever heard it called something else. But there are other garlic lakes. So if you think that's your jam, I can do some.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, right now I'm doing it just because I think it's easy for me to farm the things I need to do do the Xbox thing.
For
now, anyway.
I wonder if you would enjoy just like a straight up roguelike, a specific one or not.
I feel like I don't. I feel like
Did you ever play
yeah.
Dead Cells?
I didn't play Dead Cells.
Well, I wonder if Mike would like something more like Isaac or Enter the Gungeon.
See, that's what I was saying. Like
Maybe.
I started Isaac at some point. I know I had it on my Vita. I might own it somewhere else too. And I didn't have a good time playing it, but it might have been. I might have played it on PC, and I think my laptop at the time just couldn't handle playing the game, which is weird because like it's not a very intensive game.
Yeah. Did you? I'm trying to remember what it was called. We played a game at PAX this year. I think it was called Rightfully Bear Arms or something. Did you enjoy?
Oh
that?
yeah, I did enjoy that game.
So yeah, I don't know. There might be something, but I mean, Vampire. I'm trying to get you off Vampire Survivors. I love Vampire Survivors, so that makes me happy to see you continue to enjoy your time with that game. I'm just trying to fix some of these cameras now that Todd's out, and we don't have a silly looking screen over here.
Take your time.
Cool. What about you, Dom? Update us on where you've been at. You finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I feel like my experience was like the opposite of both of yours. I feel like Brenden, you said that.
I feel like Todd and I are also on different things.
Yeah,
too.
I feel like at the end of the game, you were looking for more. I feel like you said that if the game had ended differently, then you would have given it a better score.
I'll say this, because at some point we should have a deeper spoiler-filled discussion on that game. The three of us, maybe some guests. I have issues with the end of that game's story.
Okay, we would have to talk about that differently, but
yeah,
that also comes to a different point of mine, which is I never played the first, like the original Final Fantasy, and I think that may change my experience with the end of the game.
Yeah, I could see that.
The end of the game is definitely like, I don't know, it has like parts where it drags, but enjoyed the end of the game. I was like into the story.
Yeah.
So some of the boss fights were like, I don't know, not nonsensical, but they just like felt overly long.
I feel like I know what boss fight he's talking about too. Right now, like just one of the end ones.
And part of it is like I at one point was like multiple phases in a boss fight and accidentally clicked restart from before battle.
Bro, that is like the worst fucking thing they
Yep.
implemented into that game.
So
It's
I mean, I do like the idea that like they allow you to like pick where you restart from, but the
it's
system
just not clear.
Yeah. And it's like I don't know. I feel like they need not like a warning, but like, are you sure you really want to start from
100%.
before?
Yep.
It's very confusing. I know a lot of people.
Maybe like a hold on that screen, like a hold X, so that like when you're skipping the cutscenes, like you have to fill the whole bubble, just so you can't like click
Quickly
through.
hit it,
Yeah.
I had reviewed it, so I was playing it early, and other people I knew who were playing it early, a lot of more than one person, especially in that end fight sequence, chose the wrong fucking option, and that's a real frustrating place to get pushed back in. Let me tell you.
The final portion, I actually only struggled with the last battle. I think
you were pretty leveled up because you did a lot of side stuff. I was I don't think I was under leveled, but I definitely from chapter, I don't know, Shinra Mansion, from that chapter on, the only other side stuff that I did was Queen's Gambit. Anything, or Queen's Blood. Anything I was missing from Queen's Blood, everything else I was like, nope, I'll look at this after. I'm good. And I still did a decent amount of side stuff. I enjoyed doing certain side stuff. I did a lot of certain things that I found myself enjoying. But I mean, that stuff aside, how are you feeling on the other side of it?
I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the third game. Looking forward to seeing how the story, like, I guess, plays itself out, finishes, however you want to phrase that.
I'm in the same boat with you there. Like, I have my issues with it, but I am looking forward to the third game.
So the way that I think we differ is that I think the end of the game, like, meant more to me. Like, it like upped my curiosity or upped my like interest in the game. Okay. Where I feel like yours was like different, like you were looking for more from the end of the game. Todd just didn't like the game.
Yeah, Todd just did not like the game. Todd can say whatever he wants.
I just don't think I like the combat. I'm like in the minority. I'm not a huge fan of the combat.
I agree with you that I prefer the 16 combat. It's tough that I went from 16 to 7 remake and was like, you guys did it better for 16.
I don't think the combat's bad. I don't think the combat's bad. It doesn't pull me in the way that everyone talks about it. Like it's not for me.
I think
you also prefer 16s, right, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like such a difference, like 16 to like this. Yeah. It's like it's so different that like I don't even know if you can compare them. But like I would prefer something more.
They're
like
definitely not trying to do. Like, they're definitely not riffing off of each other. Like 16
personally,
is an action game.
I would prefer just straight up turn-based. I'm Mr. fucking Boomer here that wants this turn-based for this game, but because the combat for me is something about it. No, it doesn't. But it's just something about it. I don't know what it is.
The combat and remake, Integrate, and then subsequently Rebirth, which Rebirth is each version of that system gets better. Like remake gets better in Integrate, and it gets, I think, like perfected in Rebirth. I'm sure in the third game they will also play around with it, tweak stuff, change certain things, add new mechanics and whatever. But I don't know. The combat in that game, once you get it under your belt and you're just moving and grooving, oh man, it's so good. It's so good I wish I was better at it so I could do all of the fucking not Titans, the icons. No, not icons. It's Final Fantasy 16. What am I talking about? The summons? Are they just called summons in Rebirth?
Summons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like do those Chadley battles that were extremely difficult. But yeah, I think at some point we should get on here, even if it's just the three of us plus Mike, who I don't think cares about spoilers, or we can grab a couple of guests that I know would be eager to chat about Rebirth. Because I am curious to hear your more spoiler version of where you're at with that. But I think we should, even though the game's been out now for a couple months, I think we should still. Right? It came out in February. Did it came out in February? Right, it did.
Or yeah, end of February.
Yeah,
March
okay.
maybe.
I still want to keep it a little spoilery free for now, but is it of stuff that's come out this year? I'm trying to think of what else you've played. Is it at the top of your list or?
Probably. I would have to go back through my list.
I think it's sitting at number 3 on my list currently.
What do you have ahead of it?
I think.
Are we halfway?
Not quite. We're almost halfway. We could definitely, when we get to next month, we can definitely do like a mid-year check-in for kind of where everyone's at with stuff they've played this year. I can tease it out and just say I still feel pretty confidently that Balatro is my favorite game of the year so far. I fucking love that game.
I'm with you on that.
I did the charity stream last weekend and I started the stream off with Balatro, and I've been off Balatro for a couple weeks, and now I'm fully back on Balatro, where like in the past week I've probably dumped another like 20-ish hours bare minimum into Balatro, and it's just like I can't do this. It's to the point where I'm debating, do I buy it a second time on Switch so I can just like play it more comfortably in bed instead of using my fucking phone to play it on my Xbox, and I don't want to have to like rebeat all the things I beat and unlock all the things I unlock, but I also am kind of like, maybe I would want to do that because I really fucking like this game. But that is I think so far my number one. I have some movement below that. If you ask me on different days, the things below that would probably change. But Rebirth, as it stands right now for stuff I've played for this year, probably would be somewhere in the top 3. Just probably not.
I don't even know if I have a top 3 right now for this year.
I feel like you've played a lot of games that come out this year. I mean, I have.
Yeah, I haven't. I really haven't. Like it's probably Balatro and Helldivers is like my 1 and 2 right now, and like, I don't know if there's anything else I've played.
In order of things that I have beat this year, and I'll just include stuff that is also old. In January, I beat Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, which did not come out this year. I beat Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which came out this year in January. I beat Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, which did not come out this year. I beat Rebirth. I beat Dragon Quest 1, did not come out this year. I beat Pepper Grinder, which is also really good. I beat The Beginner's Guide, didn't come out this year. I beat Unicorn Overlord. I love that game. It's not a top 3 game for me, but that'll definitely be in my top 5-10. I love that game a lot.
You like Final Fantasy over that, or?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have my issues with Rebirth. What it comes down to is that like Rebirth is a game that has to be, because of what it is, it's a remake of a beloved game. Because it's split into a trilogy plus, meaning it has like, it's going to have probably its main 3 entries, and then the road between Rebirth and the third game is probably going to have an integrated thing. So it'll probably end up being 5 fucking games.
I kind of hope we get Vincent fucking
that's what people
DLC.
are speculating, is that it'll be like a integrate for Vincent and Sid, or maybe just Vincent, but
Sid playable in Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah. Unicorn Overlord, Another Crab's Treasure, also fantastic. Little Kitty Big City. I beat the Frog Detective trilogy, which did not come out this year. I beat Animal, and I beat Surmount. So I've played a lot of games that came out this year already. I feel pretty good about where I'm at. There's still some things that have come out this year that are sitting on my to-do list, but I don't expect a lot of those games to like crack my top 10.
Was Mario RPG this year?
No,
or was
it
it the end of
year.
last year?
End of last year.
feel like games that came out for me personally, games this year, there's been like nothing that's really been like, oh, I need to play that game. Like that's kind of been minus Balatro. Like, and so like Balatro's probably going to be the game that needs to be beat this year for me personally.
I beat 6 games that came out this year.
I think maybe one. I've been beating all old games this year. I've just been going back and playing. Yeah.
To be fair, how many of those were remakes?
Oh no, I'm actually trying to look right now.
I'm at 8.
None of them actually,
rolls
just Rebirth.
on games that came out this year.
I did Suicide Squad, Bastion, Ghostwire Tokyo, Hi-Fi Rush, The Quarry, Botany Manor. That's my game so far.
Games that came out this year, I've beaten Prince of Persia.
I need
Suicide
Prince of
Squad.
Persia's on my list.
See, I gotta go back and finish Prince of Persia. That's a game though you like jump out of for a little bit and you're like, fuck, I gotta relearn all this shit.
Yeah. Return to Grace, I beat. Showtime, Rebirth, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Showtime's on my list as well.
Which one's Showtime?
Princess Peach.
Oh, Princess Peach, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anything else you want to say about Rebirth before we move on from that?
I don't know. I do want to go back and do more side stuff. I just have so much on my table, and there's been like there's DLC for 16 that I still want to go back and do, and like it's tough right now because like I feel like the games are so big right now, but they like come out so close to each other that it's like impossible to like I don't know, like really 100% a ton of stuff that is like worthy of 100%ing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because we want to try to play as much as we can to talk about stuff and whatnot. So it does put extra strain on like something you might be really digging that you want to. I mean, that's how I feel about Balatro. Like I've played way more than I need to of Balatro to be able to confidently say I love that game, talk about it in depth, whatever. If I want to unlock everything in that game, I got a long road ahead of me, and it's going to continue to be the thing that I probably play all year as like I'm trying. That's why
like roguelites appeal to me now because like you don't need to do it all. You can just jump back in and like you can just go on another couple runs, play an hour, and then go do something else. You know, it's like, and I'm kind of especially with like the kids these days and just like being exhausted. Those are the kind of games that are just like really jiving with me recently. It's mostly roguelites.
I think the thing with Balatro that makes that game work for me the most is that I think if it was a game where you were unlocking cards and building your own decks, I think I would probably not like the game as much. I think because it's built around you are given a card, like a standard card deck, 52 cards of however that deck actually functions, and then each run you are creating off of that. I think that's like a way more appealing situation for me, at least for a card-based roguelike. Like, I think that's why I bounced off of like Slay the Spire and stuff. Because Slay the Spire, you're building a deck, right? You have to like choose cards.
It's that game's hard though, man. Yeah. It's good, but it's so fucking hard compared to like Balatro. Like we played poker forever though, so like Balatro's like an ideal game.
I know. Like I think that's the other thing too, is that because it's based around poker,
it's easy to pick up.
It is very easy to understand if you understand poker.
Yeah.
So.
I could see people who don't play poker playing that game be like, I just don't know what's happening right now. You know, it's like I don't know what I'm doing.
But you had mentioned you also finished Mario vs. Donkey Kong. How are you feeling about that?
I also rolled credits on Mario vs. Donkey Kong. There is a like game plus, but I am not in the mood to do that right now. Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's a fun puzzler. Most of the puzzling is like pretty simple, like pretty basic. It's very much like a family puzzler.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much story to it. It's Donkey Kong goes into like Mario Toy Company and steals all the Mario toys, and Mario's trying to get them back. That is literally the story of the game.
Worth playing, like putting Dommy Dom's stamp on it. Recommend it?
Yeah, it's a fun game to just like it's an easy game to bounce in and out of. Like there's no learning the moves or anything. It's literally I think there's jumping and like you can do your like triple jump and your handstand and stuff, but like it's not like there's a vast array of moves that you have to learn, and it's like I said, it's like it's pretty basic. It's easy to jump in and out of.
Yeah, it's on my list. I literally have it next to my bed because at some point I'm gonna pop it in and play through it. I guess, Todd, anything you got going on that's new, or are we moving on?
No, yeah, just you can move on. Just the same old shit. Just playing old games.
Yeah, I will push it into. I'll start with Surmount because that was a game that, as of last episode, I played a lot of, but I didn't actually, quote unquote, finish it. There's still a lot of stuff to do, even though I've hit the credits portion of that game. But since I've like hit the credits and put more time into it, I wanted to kind of give my final thoughts on that for now. I don't know if I'll go back and unlock more cosmetics or items or do more side missions and stuff, but the game is really fun. If, like I'd mentioned, if you like that type of game, if you like that like physics-based gameplay, which is not going to be like super precise platforming and movement, it's going to be like you still have to be kind of precise and stuff, but there's a lot of like variables because of the function of like how it functions with the physics-based stuff in there, plus the randomness of things that occur on the runs in the mountain. But the late game is fucking hard. Like I had some really aggravating moments, and it was it's because you have to have the right items, you have to be skilled enough, make the right decisions and execute properly, and I had some real frustrating falls to the bottom of the mountain that I was not loving. But I will say there are items you can get, there are upgrades you can unlock, there are things that help make scaling the harder parts of the mountain easier, and quite frankly are necessary at certain points. Like you need to have upgrades and you need to have items if you want to stand a chance of actually scaling to the top of the mountain. But the last two zones there were some things that were giving me issues, and I was like, you know what? I really appreciate that this game has some settings in the menu that allow me to make certain things a little bit easier, and Baby boy gaming, and I'm all about it. I wanted to get to the end of it. I had my fill. I enjoyed my time with it, and I was like, I want to see how this story plays out because it has a story, and I don't know if I am skilled enough to do it, or at least do it in a quick fashion, and I wanted to move on to some other stuff. So I'm happy that those settings are there that you can adjust, that can make things easier. The one that I liked, which I think made the game at certain points really fun to mess around with, is you can lower the gravity. So when you're like swinging and like launching yourself, you're like fucking going nuts, and it made certain parts of that fun. So I enjoyed that specific one. But there were other things for like, I think you could set on more stamina or infinite stamina, and I think you could also do like no damage. And there might have been one or two other things you could also mess around with. So it definitely opens the ability to being able to play to your abilities and play to your style, however you want to enjoy it. Which I think also comes in handy because it is also a game you can play in co-op, and it allows you to actually tweak those settings for each player individually. So like say you were playing with someone who wanted more challenge or less challenge, you could adjust that accordingly to them, and you can both kind of play to your own skill level or enjoyment level, which I think is a smart implementation of that. So especially like say you're going to play with like your kid, Todd, and it's like, all right, well, I'm going to put on like they don't take damage, they have infinite stamina, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's just
I've watched that game. No way I'm playing that with Liam. It's like
that was me when I was
why like, Liam would be too good at it.
Ooh, that was me.
No,
with
absolutely not.
I really wanted to try out co-op, but I was like, initially I was gonna just make Jen play with me for a little bit, but I was like, there's no fucking way. There's just not a chance.
I'll never play anything with Amanda after playing It Takes Two. because I got to the point where I just make sure she died every time we were like getting to like parts where like you're on the fans or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm done. Just stop. You don't need to play anymore.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know if I mean, we're not like in a full. I guess I can, if I wanted to throw a score on it. Like, I think I'd probably say it's around a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10. It's not a bad game. It's really good. It's really well made. It runs. I played it on the Switch. It definitely has some issues on the Switch at points. I don't know if it has those same issues on PC because I think it's only on Switch and PC. But it was a fun time. I enjoyed my time with it. It has a lot of great humor. It has a nice little story in there. Has a lot of challenge.
There is a story to it.
There is a story to it, yeah. It was a good time. I enjoyed my time with it. It's not like a crazy story, but there's a story. Yeah.
It's not Donkey Kong steals Mario toys and Mario's getting them back.
There's
that is literally the entirety of the story for that game.
No, there's some interesting characters that, you know, have their motivations for wanting to climb the mountain or not climb the mountain or whatever it may be. So I enjoy my time with it. So I definitely, if the physics-based portion of that game, which is what the game is interesting to you, I think it's something worth checking out, in my opinion. But I think then we can bump over to another game.
Real quick on Baby Boy Gaming settings. I got really close on the final battle of Rebirth. Listen, I was too far into, like, I was in like the middle of the phases, and I was like, all right, let me see if I can bump this down, and it wouldn't let me because you don't get an actual pause screen.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, all right, gotta tough my way through this.
Listen, I have no problem with Baby Boy Gaming. I don't give a fuck. Like, especially if it's something that I just want to see the end of. Like, I don't fucking care. I want to see how this plays out. It does not matter to me. Like, I'm not worried about how someone else feels about my abilities with a controller. I just don't fucking care. That's not.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Not a factor in my brain, to be honest.
If it's a game I really love, I want to tough it out. But like, if it's a game I'm like, let's just get this over with at this point. You know, like,
there are games I want that experience. If I want that experience, then I'm gonna do it. If I don't want the experience, if I want a different experience, and I like games that give me the option to have the experience I want to have. And Surmount gave that to me, because honestly, if it did not, I don't know if today I'd be able to say, yeah, I beat Surmount, because the end of that game is very difficult, and it's not in a difficult way that it's not playable or not beatable. It's just, it requires you to fucking get to that level.
Good at the game.
I didn't want to. I just wanted to see the end of it. So that brings us to another game, which I don't know if anyone else played more of it. I know last week maybe Mike and Todd said they had played a little bit of Little Kitty Big City. Did either of you or Dom download it, or anyone play more of this or any of this?
I played a little bit more, but it's not.
I didn't play
that I want.
Yeah,
it's not sucking me back in.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like, I know the two of you had made comments about like the jumping and stuff last week.
Yeah, I don't like the jumping.
I think when you play more of it, you get, I don't want to say you get used to it, but I think it makes sense for how the game functions. You can also hold the jump button and aim your jumps. I don't know if either of you do that.
I think the jumping makes sense. I just didn't like it. Like, I get what you're saying, though. Like, I do think it makes sense, but like, it just didn't work for me.
I knew I could aim the jump. The problem is, like, could I cancel out of the jump if I
triggered
it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Okay, then I didn't figure that part out yet. So like, I would end up like starting a jump, and I'm like, I'm on a ledge or
smack into a wall or something.
I'm on a ledge, and I'm like, oh, if I actually jump, I'm going to jump off the ledge. And I don't want to do that, so I have to. Since I couldn't figure out how to cancel it, I would have to move the jump, so I basically leap up in the air and then land straight back down in front of myself.
I'm pretty sure you can cancel it. But I really enjoyed my time with it. I mean, it's not a long game. It has a lot of cuteness to it that I enjoyed. I liked the unlockables were pretty much just like new hats for your cat, which I thought were just fun, and I enjoyed it. I think my biggest thing was I kind of wish that some of the puzzles, like, I don't think there were any puzzles that I really like scratched my head over. I think it was kind of just like, okay, I gotta go get this thing, and I gotta bring that thing here, and I know where to do that. I can't really. I mean, I played it the whole entirety of the game on the stream last week, so if someone wants to go fact check me to see if I was like stuck anywhere. I don't think I was, but I really enjoyed my time with it. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's not. I think it's a very straight.
It's a family puzzler.
Yeah, it's just like a family puzzle game we were playing as a cat, and if that's what you want to play, and that's what I wanted to play, it scratched that itch. It was enjoyable. I think visually it was fun to play and watch. Yeah, I liked some of the like things that you interact with and the people you interact with in there. Not people, but like the other things that had dialogue that you interact with. I thought it was a fun game.
That's the game where you're a cat and like you like talk to robots and stuff because humanity's gone.
No. That was that's Persona 5.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed my time with it. I think that it is a fun little thing that I think certain people will probably get a good time out of, and I was one of those people. You get to be a cat.
Yeah.
The game not for everybody.
It's definitely not a game for everybody.
So I feel like I was I thought Stray was fine, but I thought it was weird that Stray got like Game of the Year nominations and shit like that. Because I don't think, I mean, I don't think I'm in the minority on that, anyways. But I do like. I think this game would have been really good if you could control like Stray, but still have the elements of this game. Because I felt like that. Sometimes controlling stuff just like if the controls aren't working for me, I would just it doesn't. The game usually doesn't work, and I love the little things like on the right and left trigger, you swat your paws and everything and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. You couldn't do what you do in Stray. You couldn't sit on a carpet and just claw at it for like 15 minutes, and I'm just not down with that shit.
I mean, you could do other cat things, and I think a lot of the interactions that you have as the cat are like I think a lot of the gameplay and movement and stuff like is built around what an actual cat would kind of like function. That's why like with the jumping, it didn't bother me because it was like this is like it feels like you're controlling a cat, which is like they could have very easily just made it more like gamey and you played like you're just playing a platformer, which would have been fine too, I think. But I guess I just worked it out in my brain like, no, you're moving like a cat right now, like this is kind of just how it would be. I enjoyed my time with it. It was a fun time. But that'll bring us to the meat of the three here, the big three that I played. The big meat is
big meat people.
A game that I think now all of us have at least played. And I'll kind of go last if other people have anything they want to say because I have finished the game and then some. But I'm not gonna lie. What I'll say up front is I had played Animal Well 2 PAXs ago. Very brief demo. Thought it was fine. Thought it was interesting. I didn't play it at PAX this year because I was like, oh, it's whatever. I'll come out this year. Like I'll check it out when it's fully out. And when I first downloaded it and played it, I was not wowed. I was not like, huh. I was more like, if that makes sense. But my opinion changed. But before I get into my opinion, Mike, have you played more of Animal Well?
No.
Todd, have you played more of Animal Well?
I have played a little bit more, yes.
How are you feeling that you've played more?
I feel like I'm willing to give a game like this a try, and I think it's like I think it's good, but like we were talking about earlier before the podcast, I get bored with some of this shit.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I have nothing bad to say about this game at all, but like at the same time, I just don't think it's like you said. That's probably not for you, and I feel like it's probably not for me.
Yeah. That's fair.
But part of me wants to go back and play it. So, I mean, obviously it's doing something right. I've gone back to it several times this week.
Yeah. This is a tough one for me to say, even though I do think that this game is worth playing and seeing what it's doing, because I think it does some very interesting things. It is a hard game for me to say, knowing that you're like kind of like, oh, it's not necessarily your style of game. It's Metroidvania. It's very puzzle heavy. It's not story heavy. There's no combat. So it's lacking a lot of things that would attract you. And I will say, getting to the end of this game, I found is challenging. It is not easy to get to the moment that would, be the credits moment of the game, even though that's not where the game ends. So it's hard for me to say, like, yeah, push through, because it's not easy. So it's not like it's just like flip a switch. I don't think that game has like difficulty sliders or anything to make something easier. Like you got to be kind of committed to get to the end of that game.
But the beginning of the game has like nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I like that though. There's a lot of games that do that though. I like
sliders. There's like nothing.
Nothing.
And
I appreciate
it. Yeah. They
Yeah,
don't tell
100%.
you. They tell you nothing. They tell you how to jump, and that is it. You are off.
And what we were talking about before this is like Elden Ring is another game that like tells you nothing. It's like it's a Souls-like, but it tells you nothing, and I fucking love that. And I do like that aspect of this game. I just don't know. I'm just being a fucking baby. I can't shoot anything.
No, because I will say, like, I'll stand by what I said. If this style of game is not appealing to you, it's hard. I would think it would be hard to get through, even though it's a short. I beat it. Sorry, beat it is the wrong term for this game. I got to the credits at just below 5 hours, which was, I think, on the quicker side. I think most people are probably around like 5 to 6 hours, but I got there at like 4 hours and like 50 minutes. So it's not a super long game to get to the credits portion, but it still like requires you to have some mastery of the elements of the game that it has.
I want to like respect this game and like actually want to play through it just due to the fact it's one dude. I appreciate the fact that it's like one dude making this game, and like I really like that idea of like the fact that like so many people love this game, and this fucking, I mean, maybe there's a couple other people that helped them, but that's pretty insane to me.
Yeah.
That this is just like one dude making the game.
With the point that you're at, Dom, how are you feeling about Animal Well?
It is a game that I enjoy. That I will say is a game that I don't know that there is a very small collection of people that I could recommend this game to.
Yeah.
It is a game that is like it just takes a very specific person to latch onto this kind of game.
Yeah.
One thing that sucks me into this game is that it's like so atmospheric, and I love that about this game, which makes me want to continue to play it, because like there's just something about that side of this game. I'm a big baby.
So here's one of the things that I think is one of the best things this game does that is also not part of the game itself, is the conversation around it. Through the pre-credits portion of the game, there might be solutions you don't have the answer to that you can't figure out, so you might need to seek help from a friend or look at a guide online or whatever. I would urge you, if you're listening and playing Animal Well, or if it's either of you or Mike, if you get stuck and want a hint or a push, to ask me. I'm happy to like give small nudge, big nudge, or like the full answer to what you need to do. But when you get past the credits portion of the game, and I'll be very careful about what I say here, because it's not really a spoiler. It's just that the game does not end when you hit credits, because I'm sure both of you in the time that you played the game, definitely Dom, because I know kind of where Dom is at progression-wise based on the items that you have and whatnot. There are a lot of things that you have probably seen or walked by or interacted with, but you don't know how to solve that yet. And some of those things, you probably do have the solution. And some of those things, maybe you don't. And there's stuff that you'll be able to figure out. And then there's stuff that, like, I talked to, like, friends of the show, Jesse Vitelli, John Carson, and a few other people about, like, because the two of them specifically are, like, deep into post game, end game Animal Well stuff, and there's so much buried within this game that to me is one of the more like remarkable things about this game. Even not even commenting on what Todd said, that this is like primarily a solo developer. So like solo developer making a good game that also has like layers upon layers of things that I still haven't seen so many. The two of you have still seen even less, and things that I know like people like Jesse have been tinkering with and trying to figure out, and all these, it's like there's such a level of mystery and depth within Animal Well that is kind of amazing. And they're both in I think the Animal Well must have its own Discord. I'm sure they do, where the community playing the game is actively talking about like how to solve things or what things might mean and all these things. And I think that's kind of the element I was initially alluding to of like, I think one of the best things this game does is kind of outside of the game, which is the audience that's going to like Animal Well is also going to have a portion of that audience that it's going to be like the Discord people, the Reddit people who are like digging into what's going on. And that shit is kind of exciting to me, even though I'm not partaking in that stuff directly. I'm just partaking in it through a friend group, but I'm excited for the two of you to play more of it if you choose to, and if you choose to play more after you hit credits, because I just think there's interesting things going on, and I think there's a lot of stuff I can't say.
I imagine that egg collecting would be
I think it's a
a
huge part of the
post-credit
game.
scene.
Yeah.
Post-credit endeavor, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think I
what's-
have 12 or 15 right now.
What stopped me on this game was that I went clearly the wrong way
There's no wrong
and
way.
got to a.
There's not a wrong way.
I don't want to say anything spoilery, but like I didn't have the frisbee yet, and I was like, I can't get past this point. There's no way to get past this point. And now that we talked about the frisbee a little while ago, I'm like, I fucking think I needed the frisbee for that. And I ended up getting the frisbee after that, and then couldn't find my way back to that part. But I was like, I think I might have needed the frisbee for this part. And then now I'm like, oh, so I can get past this part and kind of make my way through.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
My biggest point of advice for the two of you and for anyone else listening that's playing the game or wants to play the game is you have a map in the game that will reveal itself as you
Which I didn't even
explore.
realize that.
I won't spoil a lot of things. There are items you can find at certain points in the game that allow you to mark the map. And if you're
cool.
somebody who wants to make things easier on yourself, I would maybe get in the habit of like marking your map so you know where things are.
How I got through Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight lets you mark. You have to buy something to mark things. But like once I did that, I'm like, oh, this game's easier.
I did not do that, and now that I'm in the post-credits portion of the game, there are certain things that I knew I walked by that I had really wished that I marked at the time. But it's a really good game, and I'll go back to my initial jump-off point, which was when I had first hour or so, whatever, of the game. I'm trying to like first couple hours. I beat it in fucking 5 hours, so not first couple hours. Maybe like the first 30 minutes, maybe hour. I was playing the game, and at that point, it had great review scores. People were talking very highly of it. Jesse and whatnot were praising the game. They were spending a lot of time in it. They were in post game already, so they were like 20 hours plus into the game. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know if this is a game that I'm going to put that much time into. Like, I don't know if this is hitting me in that way, but it very quickly at some point flipped from, oh no, it's fucking 3:30 in the morning and I'm up playing this game still and I want to play more and I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and fucking get through work so I can come home and play more of this game. And I don't know. I don't know how much of the post game I will do. I have done a good amount. I still think I have a lot to do. I don't know how much I'll actually do myself. I might at some point just go seek the information to see what things are what it's doing. But I'm not at the point of that because I do enjoy playing the game and I do enjoy maneuvering around it. I think the items that you get are kind of, I don't want to say unexpected, but like the stuff that you unlock in this game are not the items that I like. If you had said like, oh, what kind of items are you going to get in this type of game? I don't think that any of the items you get are any of the things I would have said you would like unlock in this game as whatever items to use.
So
for traversal
this will make me want to play the game more, but I don't know if there's an answer to this. And I don't need the answer, but I need to know if there is an answer. Is there any kind of story that explains what you are in the game? Like the little blob thing that you are.
Why does that matter to you?
I'm just kind of curious because, like, I mean, like, I don't know what, because it's kind of like a game that's like open ended and doesn't. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't need that answer, but I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of. If you told me that, like, if you play it more, you're gonna get that answer, I'd be like, oh man, maybe I want to fucking see this is.
I'm gonna refuse to answer that question on the podcast.
That's fine.
But when we're done recording, I will answer that for you.
Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. Because like you don't really, it's like you're like a little blob, you know, like it's like, and that's fine. But like at the same time, I'd be like, if there's some twist to this game that like, oh, you're this, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking play. But I don't want to know what it is, so don't tell me what it is. But if there's like some kind of answer,
I think the main hook of this game. Here's the watered down version of this for people listening.
The atmosphere.
The main hook is it is a at most times pixel perfect platformer where you have to be pretty precise in a lot of things you're doing. You'll get some items that may assist you at certain points in that. There's incredible depth to its puzzle design and world design that I think even when you think you've kind of figured out what the game is doing or an area is doing or whatever, or how an item functions, whatever, I think you might not realize you're only at the tip of that iceberg and maybe not have seen that whole thing.
Yep.
Just the tip. If you like puzzle games that are also platformers that have a lot of depth and a lot of moments that, especially if you want to push for past credits things and unlocking all the secrets and other things, are going to have moments of not just you got to be good at platforming in this game, but also you need to be able to figure out these puzzles.
I noticed that with the
probably
platforming,
something
though.
you should not miss.
Because there's like one of those, there was one area and I'm like so early on, like maybe an hour. But like I was like, oh, I can't make this jump. And then I'm like, oh, I can make this jump. You know, like kind of thing where like I got to get to the very edge of this thing that I'm jumping from and get to here.
And I'll be clear too, like there are definitely things I don't want to say there's not a wrong path you can take, but there are definitely places you can go that maybe you need to find a specific item or something before you can actually progress certain stuff. But I mean, that's kind of just like the DNA of a Metroidvania to begin with, is like, you need to collect your items in order to progress through certain areas, but it's fantastic. I mean, I don't think it's for me, and my opinion might change after I get through at least see all of what post game has to offer. Maybe I don't know. It's tough. I don't want to give it a 10. Not that it doesn't deserve it. For me, I think it's a 9 out of 10. I think this game is pretty fucking phenomenal at what it's doing. I think that it is scratching the fucking very thin barrier between where it's at 9 and where 10 exists. I think having more answers to what the post game is leading to might change my opinion to a full bump up, but it's pretty phenomenal. It's definitely like going to be one of the games that I think everyone's talking about for this year, if not longer, because the developer Billy Basso, I think I read an interview that he basically said like something along the lines of he wanted to put so much depth and layers into the game that he hopes that there are things that are still so not obtuse, but there are puzzles and solutions and secrets in the game that the community won't find until years later. And that shit is exciting to me. Like, that's like a cool thing to think about. That, because I think in part with that interview, it was he wanted a game that was like when he put it out would not be updated. It's like, here is the game, it is complete, this is the thing, and fucking crack it open. See what's inside that egg. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. It's a surprise for me because I know a lot of people were excited about it, and a lot of people enjoyed their hands-on time with it, the last 2 PAXs and whatnot. It didn't grab me like that, but that one fateful night this past week where I
do feel like this is a game you need to fucking be in the comfort of like the darkness of it. Like, you need to be playing this game in peace and quiet with like a good headset on, and I think that's how it gets you. Because I feel like if I was playing this at PAX, I'd be like, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, what is all this chaos?" And because I think the I said this last week, but the sound of this game and like the music is so good that like I feel like it's like more appreciated when you're just kind of secluded and not around everyone.
Yeah. No, I get that for sure. I think there are plenty of games that I end up loving that, you know, don't demo well in that type of setting. But yeah, I don't know. Animal Well, it's not one to miss, in my opinion. It's gonna be something pretty high on my list at the end of the year. I'll say that. So
this year is pretty wild though, because like we're talking about games of the year and we're like Baladro, this and that. Like, it's like we're not talking about big games. We're talking about like very small independent games that are just like, those are the games dominating the scene this year so far.
Listen, you know, we've been saying it for fucking a decade plus. Play more indies, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Anyone else? Final thoughts on Animal Well before we wrap things up?
There's animals.
There
There's
are
also
animals.
a well.
Is there a well?
I have no idea.
I love it. It's fantastic. Now I'm gonna end up playing more of it tomorrow because now I'm thinking about it so much. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It gets my highly recommend. Shouldn't be missed if you like that type of game, because I do agree with both Todd and Dom. I think that you have to want that. If you don't want at times pretty challenging puzzle experience, I don't know if this game is for you. But if it is, Mike, you gonna go back to it? You gonna jump back in the well?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. If you do, and
Mm-hmm.
you want to stream it in Discord, I'll watch you play it.
Maybe.
Because
Honestly, again, I really only stopped because I died in a stupid way, and because of the way the saving worked, I had to go so far back. I just didn't feel like redoing stuff.
So what I'll say about the saving is this. It's a good thing you brought that up. You don't lose progression. You just have to go back to the last. Is it a campfire? I don't remember.
Telephone
Telephone that you saved at. Dom's shaking his head.
Yeah.
You don't lose
You
progress.
do lose progression. Doors will close.
Doors that you open with keys?
Or I guess I shouldn't say that. If you
I think there were doors that I
flipped
switches. I think those switches back.
They switch back, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you had like picked up an item or an egg
I saw
or
the
something else,
item.
you do not lose those things.
Yeah, I saw the item.
Something may
it was
reset
just like
in the environment, maybe, yeah. But
yeah, I think it was just a case of it's a map or whatever, and I'd saved in one location. I kind of wandered around. I got to a thing, and I feel confident I probably could have gotten through it if I didn't die stupidly. And then I went so far back, I didn't feel like trying to find that location again and go through it.
Yeah.
So I give up.
Yeah, I mean it's a thick game. You have to want that. You have to want to fucking put that back. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to want it. Fuck. This game had a lot of moments where I was like, what the fuck? And not like a negative way, and like that's what this game is doing right now. That's what is happening right now. Like, it's a fucking good game. But I don't want to keep belaboring unless anyone else has anything they want to say about Animal Well or anything else. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode. But before we end, as we always do, we'll play the game. The way that this works is we play a game at the end of every episode. People get points. We keep track of the points all year. The scoreboard as it stands is Dom still in first place with 21 points. But Mike and Todd are tied in second with 17 points. Todd has fake 2 bonus points in parentheses.
Yeah, they don't count.
They don't count. But it says bonus points because Todd cried about not being
I wasn't there. Wait, before you even go on, can I say one thing?
I got to bring up the bonus points when
of course.
They have that reasoning.
I just want to say one thing about your shirt, okay? Because I know that's a sun, but I keep on thinking it's an exposed nipple. And I keep on looking at it.
I can see how you'd be confused by that.
You think I'm wearing a shirt that has a cutout of my chest?
I don't think you are. No, of course not. But I just, for like a few seconds, I was like, wait, what is that? You know?
Yeah.
I know. Trust me. I know it's a sun. Like I saw the bottom, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I have tape over. I have flesh colored tape over my other.
Yeah,
nipple.
you got one. You get the one side.
The fashion statement. This is 2024. This is what we do.
So before we play the game, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 420. Todd's blazing it. That's why his camera's been off. His eyes are too
this was
red.
420. I forgot to fucking blaze it up.
Should have been blazing, Mike. Should have been fucking John.
I know.
Blazing
Just waiting for the show to end, and I can go. It actually is. It's today. Oh, it is. Oh no. Oh.
Wait, what? What?
What?
No, this is episode 420.
I was like, wait a second. I was like, we just had that day of fucking while ago.
It's almost 520.
There you go. That makes more sense.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening to episode 420. Like I said earlier in the show, leave us a 5-star review. It's super helpful. We appreciate you when you do. And if you can, it takes no effort on your side. Just a quick little tap, 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 and you're good to go. So we're going to play a game that I can't remember. I meant to look to see if I had given it a name last week, and I don't think I did. So we're going to play.
You did. I think you did.
Did I?
I think we came up with something, but I don't know. Nothing.
I don't know what game we're gonna play, so I can't say.
We're gonna play fucking Scoreboard Scorcher, which and that's not what we're gonna call it.
Metacritic one, right?
Yeah, the Metacritic one. So I picked 3 games, and the way this works is each of you will have to give me your guess of what the average Metacritic score is for that game. We will, as a rule, go off of the if it's a multi-platform game, we'll go off of the one that has the most reviews for. Accounted for on it. So, game number 1 is going to be on the Nintendo Switch version of Gato Roboto.
Ooh.
And we're gonna go in order of Mike.
Give me a remake of that game.
Mike Todd. A remake?
I'm not a remake.
It's like 5 years old.
I'm thinking of Chibi. I'm thinking of Chibi Robo. That's what I was thinking of. Give me like a new.
You've played a Chibi Robo game? I don't believe this.
Yeah, the Wii one. I was obsessed with that game. Like that game was like a huge deal.
I don't know if there was a Wii one. There was a GameCube one.
Or Wii U, but I'm pretty sure it was a Wii.
There's a 3DS.
There's a 3DS one, yeah.
I never played the 3DS one. Definitely didn't.
That's the most recent one, I think.
The picture of him on the cover is him holding like an outlet, and he's like.
Yeah, he's like always holding an outlet. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No, I know.
He's a robot.
It's definitely not a Wii U game. There's Chibi Robo. Let's see. I'm gonna because I actually
a Wii game.
You got Chibi Robo for the GameCube. You got where he's holding a plug. You got Chibi Robo Park Patrol for the DS, where he is.
Oh, it's GameCube. I played the GameCube one.
Yeah,
that's the one. Okay.
That's what I said. Come on. Photo Finder. Yeah. You didn't play the DS or 3DS ones, and the other ones.
No, definitely didn't play
those.
those.
3DS one was fine. I don't think it reviewed well. I don't think people liked it, but it was fine. All right, we're gonna go in this order, and then we'll continue to snake it. So, Mike, you're first.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking for Gato Roboto?
Oh, okay. Now I know what this is. Jesus, it took me a while.
Yeah, it was like the black and white game.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a Meowtroidvania.
Oh, I know how people love Meowtroidvanias. Yeah, let's give it a nice
We're going off the
85.
Nintendo Switch score. Mike said 85.
Oof, you were right where I was going to go.
Todd, what are you thinking? You can go the same. You can double down.
Oh,
This,
you
this
can
is for
actually.
straight points. So if you feel
All right, I'm
it's
gonna go.
85,
He
you're
said
in the bullseye.
85. I'll say
We
86.
could be wrong together.
Okay.
I'll say 86.
Oh, you're a piece
Dom,
of
where you
shit.
hanging?
See what
Where you
Dom
hanging?
has.
Dom, you know Dom's going to do 83. Right?
Wait, what did Mike say?
84.
We got 85,
Doesn't matter what I
86.
said. Do what you want to do.
85, 86?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 80. I'm gonna go 84.
I would have done the same thing. So.
Well, with that logic, Dom made the correct choice
go.
on the scale. It has a 72
Oh, really? Weird.
on the Switch score.
It was short.
It has a 79 on PC. And the two reviews that it has for
was on
Xbox
PC.
are 80.
I didn't even know it was
Wait,
on
this-
Xbox.
I was going to say,
Xbox
I thought it was like
later.
a Nintendo thing.
It was a Switch PC exclusive, I think, for a while.
Do I own that game somewhere?
Double
check.
I definitely have it
I
for
like
the
Scott
Switch.
the Roboto. I think I 100%.
I might have it on the.
It was
I might
very
have it on-
short,
It was short,
if I
yeah.
remember
Yeah, it was
correctly.
short.
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, I have to imagine that's probably why.
Some people may factor that in. I typically wouldn't. I like
for a Metroidvania though.
Yeah, but like it is what it is. Like it's that's what
I
the
know.
game is.
Brenden, if the movie's too long, demerits. If the game is too short,
It's just what it is.
No,
It is
if
what
the
it is.
game is too short, I think for me, this is me speaking about me. There can be situations where I think a game is too short and it's a negative. There can be situations where a game is too long and I think it's a negative. It's all about hitting that sweet spot of what the game is and what it's doing. Like, I think Rebirth was too long in my opinion, because of some of the bloat that it makes you play with like this fucking the gamified bullshit.
Yes, let's shit on Rebirth. Please keep it going.
If some of that stuff was either removed or made ancillary, then it changes how I feel about the length of the game.
I swear to God, if Rebirth gets Game of the Year this year, this is like the worst year of gaming
Some
in a
people
long
will.
time.
Some people will give it that.
No, I meant like overall Game of the Year. Like
When you say overall game of the year, what does that mean? There's like
We still have.
like
Yeah.
like most sites.
just like the
are
average
agreeing.
game of the. I mean, some
average,
people,
yeah.
it will get it from a lot of places. I'm sure.
I think it will get.
We
a
still
lot.
have 7 months.
Yeah, true.
No.
Come on, Indiana Jones.
but
let's
Is
go.
that correct math?
I
go,
actually,
Indiana.
I actually think that the conversation around Rebirth is not going to be favorable over time, the way that it was
really?
with
You
remake.
think so?
I don't
Okay.
think so. I think when the luster fades off of that being a game that has just recently come out, I think more people are going to look back at that game differently than they did remake. That's my take.
It also has like
Very pretty, though.
It also
very
has
pretty.
the fact. It has the factor of coming out super early in the year where people will be like, "Oh, I forgot about that game," kind of
I
thing.
don't think anyone's going to say they forgot about
There's a-
Final Fantasy VII.
Well, I mean, I already
Rebirth.
did.
There's a lot of
of.
there's a lot of cutscenes at the end that I like want screen caps of.
Yeah,
The end cutscenes are like
really good.
very beautiful.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's something I want to like when we can talk to Dom alone about it. But like, there's some stuff at the fucking end that's so good.
Yeah. No, listen, I love Rebirth, warts and all. I just think it's
Solid 7.5. Agreed.
No,
Agreed completely.
I gave it a 9 on my official review. But I
Did you? I
think,
thought you give it an 8.
no, I landed on a 9.
Okay.
I think you give the first one an 8. Or the
Maybe
first.
that's what I was thinking. Remake.
I think when I initially played Remake, I might have been saying it was a 7, but I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah, you're like
let me scroll through.
6.5.
Yeah, I gave Rebirth a 9. All right, game number 2. Stray. And we're going to go off of the PlayStation 5.
Okay. Okay. I think I have my guess. But...
So, Todd, you are first this time.
Oh, what the fuck? You
We're
give
going in
Dom all
order.
his advantages. No, that's fine. Dom, you fucking...
I go
Yeah,
second.
Yeah. So Mike gets to go last on Stray.
This was a Game of the Year contender.
It was.
It was. I'm not going to say 90s because I don't... There's no way this game got in the 90s. I'll say... Fuck, now I got to think about what they're going to say around me. I'm going to go 80s. I'll go straight up 80.
Straight up 80. Okay. Dom, what are you thinking?
There's no way this game got higher than me.
I need to suss out Mike. I'm gonna go-
Don't worry about me.
Right.
Don't worry about me.
I'm gonna go 87.
Okay.
See, that's where I was thinking more towards the 90 side because I feel like
Wait, can I change? I'm gonna go 86.
Okay. Mike, where you at? Okay, 80 and 86. I think going forward when we play this game further, I'm gonna make you all text me your answer, so we're not playing this type.
Yeah,
of game.
makes sense.
Why? It's so quick.
It's a
That's
price
fine,
right
that's
kind of
fine.
game.
I feel as though even though it was a Game of the Year contender, I feel like there was a lot of backlash for it. But I don't know if that
Yeah.
translates.
Just people who don't
I
like
don't know if
cats like me.
I don't know if that translates to the score at all.
I don't think there was. I feel like I was in the minority for this game being in like.
No,
feel like I
I
was the
know
only
people
person
were like,
that's-
"Oh, I know people were."
Oh,
upset.
look
What-
at me, I'm a cat.
What year was Stray the same year as Elden Ring?
No,
It was
Yes.
last year.
That game has. Wait, no, was it last year?
no.
I think it was.
Stray
Was
was
it?
last
2
year.
It
years ago, I
wasn't.
think.
It was 2 years ago. Oh, I thought it was last
I
year.
think
That's in the
I
same
think it
category
went
as
up
Elden
against
Ring. Then
Elden
like,
Ring.
I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, like that game shouldn't even be in the same conversation.
Double check that, but I'm pretty sure it went up against Elden Ring.
Stray? Stray did not
yeah,
come out last year.
I didn't say
It's
it
2
came out
years.
last
Elden
year.
Ring was 2 years ago.
Sorry, I already closed the window because Stray came out in 2022.
Yeah.
I
it's
think
2
that
years
was
ago.
Elden Ring year.
It's 2 years
sorry.
ago.
Sorry, I thought that you were all saying that Stray came out last year, and I was like, no, it did
No.
not.
Oh yeah, no.
No, I was saying that Game of the Year was like Stray, Elden Ring, Tears of the Kingdom.
No.
No,
Kingdom was
not
last year.
Tears.
Last year.
Okay, there was like
Remake.
2022.
Yeah.
Game of the
Remake, yes.
ba, 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 ba. I don't know. What's your score, Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's say I don't think it would be much less than 80, but I do not think it actually, you know what? I feel like 93.
Jesus.
Okay.
I know. For some reason like that
I don't
that
think it would be much less than 80, but I'm gonna go 13 points
Well,
over
I'm not
80.
gonna lie. Like, cause like
for like a
I-
split second, I could picture myself like long ago seeing people talk about Stray and like seeing the picture of the game
code,
and like a
like
score,
Yeah.
a score of 90.
I feel like 90. I feel like 90 was what it was, but like I'm like I refuse to give it that high of a score.
I don't believe it should be that high, but in my head I can picture it just having a high score.
Gotcha.
All right. And for going off of the Game Awards in 2022, it is Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden
Requiem,
West,
okay.
Stray, Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Um,
Plague Tale gets some love.
Sorry, Mike. You said 93. Dom said
Yeah.
86, and
Yep.
Todd said 80.
18.
Dom, you were very close to giving Todd the point when you initially said 87, because this game has an 80.
Oh, I took it back with the 86.
Well, you are now split.
I'm so confused.
You're
What are you
both
saying?
split equally away.
Wait, what did I
It's
say?
an 83. Todd said 80 and you said 86. So it's a 3-point split. So I think Price is Right rules is not what we
Todd would get it.
established. So we're going to
I don't have a problem
we're
giving
gonna-
it to Todd.
skip to a new game.
Okay.
We're going to
Okay.
do no, unless what do we want to do? We haven't
I
established
don't-
Price is Right rules. Or we
I
just
don't
give you
care.
both
It's
a
your
point.
it's your game.
What do we want to do? I don't want anyone to feel robbed.
I'm not involved in this, so I don't care.
Todd, opinion here? Todd's fucking power. went
Yeah,
out
just
again.
give me the point. I just want the point. Give me an asterisk point.
Todd. It's a split, so we'll keep it as. Oh, you know what? No. This is what we'll do. When Todd comes back, I have a way to settle this. Yes. This might not work in every scenario, but in this scenario, it will work.
You're gonna go to the PC score?
Yes. Well, so not to say that the score is different, because it might not be. I'm just saying there's not a situation where like a game might be a single platform, so it might not
Yep.
give me that
I
option.
just can't take a break tonight. What's going on?
Are you good right now or no?
I'm good.
All right. So I don't know what you heard, but you and Dom are split on this one. You have both the
So
same.
I heard all that.
Okay.
I heard all that.
So I think the way we're going to resolve this is the two of you now need to give me what you think the PC score of Stray is. And I want to clarify. It does not mean that it is a different score. It just means that there is a different Metascore for 45 different critic reviews on Stray. So
how many critic reviews for the PS5?
106.
Okay.
So you have to give me what you think the PC score is. And if we tie with a split, we'll do another resolution. If you both guess the same number and it's correct, we will give both points. If you both guess the same number and it is incorrect, no one gets any points.
What was the score for the last one? I'm sorry.
83.
83. Okay. So we need to guess the PC one.
What the PC one is, yes. Which again, it could be the same score.
See, when I pictured that 93 was actually an 83. That was my mistake. I got the digits confused.
Todd went first. Todd should have
That's why I'm going
again.
first again. Is it?
What do you think, Todd?
Okay. Is it going to be that really different?
It could be, or maybe it's not.
Maybe not. You decide.
Fuck. I don't know. We said it was. Yes.
Is it ticking?
I'm gonna go 81.
Okay. Dom, what are you feeling?
I'm going to go 83.
Is it 82?
It is indeed 82. So, what did I say the resolution was for a split again?
You said you were going to do something else.
A different game.
Just do a different
We're going to do a different game. So, wonderful. Game
That's
number 3. And this will fold Mike back into the mix. The split is off now, Mike. You're back in the mix. The steal is available. We are going to now do Blinks the Time Sweeper. And we're going to go off the Xbox score.
We're just doing cats
yes,
today.
we're just doing cats. We're going to do an Xbox score because this is an Xbox exclusive. So, what do we think?
What year was this?
2002. And on this one, Dom will go first. Dom, what are we feeling for Blinks the Time Sweeper?
74.
Okay. Mike, what are you feeling? Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Bro, can someone enlighten me with what this is?
It's a game with a cat.
It is a platforming cat Microsoft exclusive on the original
was
Xbox.
it Microsoft? Wait, really?
It is a
How did
Microsoft
I never played this game.
I was going to say, I feel like had I been asked first, I would have said like 78 or 79. Since I was asked second, I'm going to say 72.
72. All right. Todd, where are you falling?
He said 72.
Yeah.
Wait, did Dom go first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dom said
What
74.
did you say?
Mike said 72.
74, 72. Wait, 74, 72. What's a safe in between?
70.
I'm so confused.
In between is 73. Go ahead, pick it.
I'm so confused that a game that should theoretically be the quickest game we play is turning into one of the longest.
Wait, this should be a quick game that no one ever heard of?
No,
just this game in general.
Yeah.
Instead of
this
like
game.
guessing clues and all this other shit.
74, 72.
Yep. If you'd like to split them, it is 73. If you would like to pick a different number, why don't you tell me the number you're looking
all
for?
other numbers.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go 69, baby.
Ooh, I like it.
What was that?
Did Todd just fucking lag out again?
No, I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There was like a weird There was like a
No,
weird
it's like
sound.
jumping back and forth between my phone and my fucking computer right now. It's a fucking disaster. I said 69. I don't know if you heard me.
I got it locked in. And
69, baby.
I initially rubbed my head because I thought we just walked back into the same scenario again. But thank fucking God we did not. Mike takes the point as it was a 71.
Oh, damn, Todd. If you didn't go for the
1
joke
point
answer, you just said 70. If you just said 70, we could have done it again.
All right. Now we have to go.
Except at that time, there was no other score to use to do a tiebreaker.
Yeah. We would just have to do rock, paper, scissors. We can't see Todd, so we'll just have to go on honor system.
All right. For this final game, we're going to we're going to do Night in the Woods. And we will be going off of the PC score as it is the most reviewed platform.
Who's first this time?
This
Wait,
resets
I cut
back,
out again for the last one.
This
Who won the last one?
resets back to Mike.
Me?
What was the score?
It was 71, so Mike got the point.
And what was Mike?
72.
32.
Oh, motherfucker, Mike. Fuck you.
Don't be mad at me. You're the one that picked 69. No one told you to do that.
I mean, he made the right call. If he split the diff, he would have been further away.
That's true.
So, Mike, where are we feeling for Night in the Woods?
Night in the Woods. I'm not familiar with this game
He
at
plays
all.
a cat.
I gathered as much based off of what year did
I
it come
almost
out?
just opened my mouth and said something stupid.
2017.
Night in the Woods. I truly do not know this game.
Here, let me give you.
No, it's fine.
Really?
I'll
Should
just
play it, Mike.
I'll just take a guess.
feel like you might like it.
I'll give you this, Mike. Night in the Woods this is from Wikipedia. Night in the Woods is a 2017 single-player adventure video game developed by Infinite Fall and published by Finji. The story follows a young woman named Mae Borowski who drops out of college and returns to her hometown to find unexpected changes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say 75.
Okay, Mike's gonna go with 75.
I don't know if it's a good game. I don't know if it's a bad game. I'll just whatever.
Mike's locking in a 75. Mike, Todd, what do you got?
I'll go 90.
Okay. Dom,
That's a
what you
tough
thinking?
one.
What you thinking here?
I wanted to make sure Dom was fucking had to fucking pick.
Yeah, that's a tough one. 90 is a good spot to land at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 91.
Ooh.
Before we even really reveal the answer, I know that this is a critically acclaimed game, so I'm assuming Dom won because fucking. I know there's a lot of hate to the developer, but I feel
That's
like
what I
this game
have
is,
to
like,
decide.
really low.
Is I know that
Yeah.
the game is liked, but I don't know if it's liked enough to be 90s or enough to be high 80s.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Let's see.
That's why 90 was like the perfect fucking me in the head kind of thing.
I honestly was gonna go 93, 94, but
If you had gone that high, I would have gone under you.
yeah.
So the Switch version on Metacritic is sitting at an 85. The Xbox One version on Metacritic is sitting at a 75.
Yikes.
The PS4 version of this game is sitting at an 87. That means
Jumps a lot.
yeah. That means
Yeah, for real, it's weird.
that with 38 critic reviews on the PC platform
That's the highest
38
one.
was the most critic?
That's
on
weird.
PC. So 38, 15, 5, and 17. So like
I know. That's,
that's
still,
weird.
yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it was reviewed a lot.
That means that we yet again have a tie
What the fuck?
to end the week on the leaderboard because Todd gets the point with his 90 because it is an
Yeah, I
88
thought we had
on
a tie.
PC. So
88,
Mike
yeah.
and Todd will tie up yet again. A point apiece this week, but that leaves the scoreboard with Dom at 22, Mike and Todd still at 18. Well, still in second place tie with 18. So no movement overall. The standings
Mike.
stay the same.
We're due for a game week, you know.
we're getting into the middle of the year, so June will be some bonanzas. We'll have some stuff going on in June.
We should probably bring in like a random person too, just to fucking shake things up.
Yeah, we'll have some guest stuff. We haven't a guest in a while. I feel like we should probably change that.
If we want to be a talk show, we need a guest.
That's true. That's true.
And a musical guest.
Guest. What if we did just start having musical guests on? Like, what if we just did start doing that?
Do it.
It'd be fun.
It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Imagine you listen to a podcast and it just breaks out into some band playing a song.
We're giving away a fucking gold idea just out in the open right now.
No.
Gold idea. What if the talk show was audio only?
Let's reach out to Square Enix. Let's get fucking Octopath Traveler musicians in here. That's the next fucking. Here we go.
All right.
Good.
Anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 420. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you next time.